In 2024, Development Impact Pathfinders Initiative (DevIMPA) received a small seed project grant from Women Environmental Program to implement a project entitled Empowering Rural Women Smallholder Farmers with Skills for a Climate-Resilient Future. The project aimed to empower rural women smallholder farmers in Ezinihitte local government area of Imo State, Nigeria, with the knowledge and practical skills needed to adapt to climate change, improve crop production, and strengthen food security in their communities. The objectives of the project were: one, to sensitize women farmers on climate change, its impacts on agriculture, and enable them to interpret climate information for informed adaptation decisions. To provide practical, easy to follow demonstration training on cultivating vegetables under adverse climatic and economic conditions. To build the women's analytical and practical skills for implementing climate resilient farming practices and sustaining agricultural development post-training. The activities included community entry meetings, which were held with women leaders and heads of the Ezinihitte and Adakam autonomous communities. This ensured buy-in, identified the right participants, and aligned the project with local needs. A sensitization seminar was delivered at the Mothers Union groups of two Anglican churches in Ezinihitte. The seminar improved participants' understanding of how climate change affects their livelihood, highlighted women's unique vulnerabilities and roles in adaptation, and introduced accessible solutions. Topics included drought-tolerant and short-cycled crops, crop diversification, water conservation, organic farming, and accessing climate finance. Hands-on sections were conducted on practical nurseries, on preparing nurseries, planting, transplanting, and producing organic fertilizers. Two model demonstration farms were established and maintained collaboratively by the women, where tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and cabbage were planted. This gave participants a replicable learning platform while providing hybrid vegetable seeds to practice on their own farms. Women were trained on composting, seed saving, and sustainable soil and water management, equipping them with climate-smart techniques that reduce reliance on chemical inputs, improve health, and diversified income opportunities. A WhatsApp group was created to provide continuous monitoring, facilitate progress monitoring, and strengthen peer learning and collective action. Women shared updates through pictures and videos, receiving feedback and recommendations from experts and peers to improve their farm. These activities not only enhance technical capacity but also position the women as advocates for climate adaptation, encouraging adoption of climate smart practices in their wider networks. The primary, uh, the primary beneficiaries of the project were rural women smallholder farmers. These women are the backbone of agricultural production in their households and communities, facing significant vulnerabilities to climate change impacts, including unpredictable rainfall, declining soil fertility, and reduced crop yields. Despite their critical role in food production, they often lack access to climate information, modern farming knowledge, and resources needed to adapt effectively. The beneficiaries include 300 rural women who were sensitized on climate change impacts and adaptation strategies, 40 women who were trained intensively in climate smart agriculture, provided with improved seeds and organic inputs. The benefit of the project included awareness of climate risks and tailored adaptation options, with the women gaining a clear understanding of how climate change affects their farms and livelihoods. The hands-on training in cultivating drought tolerant and short-cycled crop, preparing organic fertilizers and conserving soil and water. They had access to hybrid vegetable seeds and organic inputs to apply these practices on their farms, strengthen their capacity for collective action and knowledge sharing through peer support networks and dedicated work. WhatsApp group. The impact of the impact after project implementation. 30 to 50% of participants reported improved crop yield despite erratic weather. 75% of them reduced their dependence on chemical fertilizers because they could now produce organic fertilizers by themselves. Women diversified their income through the skills they have acquired, and their confidence in contributing household food security, resilience, and gender equality in their community were boosted. This project demonstrates how empowering women farmers as agents of climate change can enhance community resilience, improve livelihoods, and advance sustainable agricultural development despite the challenges of climate change. The activities not only improved the women's technical skills and productivity, but also increased their confidence and visibility as community leaders and advocates for sustainable farming and climate adaptation. The project also contributed to reducing gender disparities in access to knowledge, resources, and decision making, while advancing food security and sustainable livelihoods in Ezinihitte local government. In conclusion, this project successfully demonstrates how empowering women farmers with climate change knowledge and tools not only enhances their adaptive capacity but also contributes to broader mitigation and environmental sustainability goals. The model can be scaled to other communities in Nigeria to strengthen rural resilience to climate change while promoting sustainable agriculture and gender equality.